Okay, let's start today's call. Let's rearrange the agenda items since the implementation team, most of them members are not here. Let's just talk about the Sprint update. There's the tickets for form reload is mUzima 312. And let me just share the screen first. Okay, so that ticket, sorry, form reload. I think I got it wrong. ID, 1 second. Yeah. 7, yes, correct. So I think this was discussed yesterday during the IRC about the on create and on resume, and that's what the order has been rearranged, and then after that we experienced some issue that when the form when the data is filled during the form data collection um, process, and some of the value become blank because the form get reload. So Simon, do you want just to give us a brief update of the background, and then what you propose of maybe asking why there was like rearranging the on create and on resume, as well as what the proposed function that you suggest here. Simon, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. So, what I was saying is that yes, we discussed during Scrum yesterday, and basically the issue is that we have placed the code for reloading the loading the form within a method that runs every time you resume the application, meaning that whenever, for example, the application goes in the background or there's a screen timeout, the application is paused, and when you go back to the application, it will be resumed. So within that section, we are executing the code to reload to load the form. And as a side effect, what happens is that the form that gets loaded will be the one that was saved last. So any other information that was inputted between the last save and when the form gets reloaded gets lost. So yesterday we talked about it, and there was a suggestion to save the form whenever you are doing the on pause, so that when you resume, everything gets reloaded as well. Now I tried this. So what I'm finding is that it's kind of annoying. Every time you load the form, it takes 1 or 2 seconds, and then it pops up a message reloading, which kind of I think would be annoying to users. And again, when you try with the barcode now using the registration form, if you click on the barcode reader, then reading the barcode, it doesn't copy the value in the MRS field. Then I tried moving the code back to the onCreate method. To me, that one sounds like it works fine. So I just wanted to know, maybe Win could advise if there's if it would have any harm if we put the code back to onCreate.
I think I agree with you, Simon. It's probably going to be annoying if we have reload every time, but probably keep the on saving on pause.
Yeah.
Because just in case, when the user pause the application, the data will still be persisted because um, pausing means that the user can move to another application or something. So probably just keep the saving mechanism in the on pause as well.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. I think that's fine. So because I have tested already saving within pause, and I think it was fine. So what I'll do after this, I will do the APK for further testing, and then we can do code review after that. I think we are good with that, Ed.
Okay, so we agree that when we should use on pause, and then when it's on pause, it would do autosave.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's one thing, and then another one is that we also need to add a validation or rule that the value of app timeout should cannot be smaller than the automatic form save in the default value as well.
So
So that go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say, so if we do as Win suggests, within on pause,
So that would take care of that.
Yeah, I think there would be no problem now, even if the timeout happens at a time that is shorter than the autosave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
what would happen is that every time there's a timeout, then the form is automatically saved. So therefore, that would include even the situation when the form was not already auto-saved, I think.
Yes. So I think this might be also a good opportunity for us to explain to all members that some of the behavior we observed recently that so when you fill out the form and so it might have like the autosave the form because the interval setup is like 2 minutes, so it might have like it saved it like a couple minutes ago, and then you continue to do something else, and there's like a form reload, and the information that you enter since last automatic time interval save, those value become lost, and that's why certain field appear to be blank, even though you knew that it's not supposed to be that way. I just want so this explains that our behavior that we observed recently, and I hope that it makes sense for everyone. If not, please feel free to ask, and then we can explain further. Go ahead, Ruth. Do you have any questions or comment on this one?
No, maybe
So Robot, this is the the behavior that we observe and documented when we test all the forms recently. I just hope that it makes sense for you guys, so that you know why or how that happened.
yes, it makes sense.
Okay, cool. So Lawrence, is that okay for you, Lawrence?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. How about Stephen?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Great. The next agenda item is about the Bago tickers, ticket 292. So Simon and I also discussed about this yesterday. We believe that the barcode, the scanner is working. It does scan and identify the ID value. The reason that it did not capture and transfer into the field is due to the form reload issue as well. But that's another observation that I have is that doing the in the patient search page, there's also a barcode scanner function that you can scan the ID card and look for existing patient either from your local report or you can search against the server in real time. I think that one doesn't work, and I don't think that it was caused by the form reload issues since it's not really there's no form. So I think it needs to be further investigated on this one. Any comment on questions on this one?
Edna, you're not very clear. You're saying that when searching a patient using the barcode scanner, you're not able to find the patient.
Yeah. Do you guys have that? Do you guys have that experience?
No, I tested and I was able to find a client using the barcode scanner.
So on the patient search page, you can use the barcode scanner and scan the barcode, and you can find the existing client from your local report as well as the against the server.
Yes.
Oh, if that's the case, let me try to see if I can reproduce that because that's the behavior that I observed.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. I will try to test further to see whether this is consistent, whether I can reproduce again.
Okay.
Thank you. And the next one that I would like to talk about, so before we move away from the current spring discussions, is there any other tickets from the current spring that anyone would like to discuss or bring it up? I'm surprised no one asked about the day of birth ticket since there's a lot of activities or updates on the ticket. So I just want to point out that this ticket is about the day of birth field. That's about the scroller for the birth year is to provide like a scroller instead of like doing every give like every the limited range, and then you need to go back and forth in order to choose something in like a smaller birth year. As everyone tested out, saying that the functionality working very well, but you guys encountered some issues about unable to save the form data as incomplete or as complete. I think that one is a different issue than from this ticket, and so I just don't want to, I don't want to mix several different issues into one ticket. So the question for everyone is that, is it correct that the day of birth field now working very well in terms of you're able to pick the day of birth as well as the birth year. You can scroll all the way back to smaller birth year.
Yeah, I think from me, I think that works fine.
Okay. So
Maybe a
that's
question to Lawrence.
Go ahead.
A question to Lawrence. There is an error that he had gotten, but we are not able to get the error. I don't know if he's still getting the same error.
I think well, there was an issue we went through with Savai, and that's weird because when I posted that the screenshot on the ticket, it actually gave a different display of the calendar, and Simon says it didn't work on anything different from what's known to be the normal display of the month and the year as you pick the date. So I don't know, maybe we can still meet up with you people and try to see if I experience that or not.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Lawrence, can you just try to see if you can reproduce the behavior that you report earlier? Uh,
Yes,
yeah.
I will do that.
Okay, thanks. So just leave these tickets to be about the day of birth field. That's for the day picker as well as continuous scroll bar for the birth year. And then the other issues that you guys reported about unable to save the form, and then it's a separate issues, and we can talk about it in a little bit. Is that okay? I just tried not to mix multiple issues in one ticket.
Yeah, and that's clear.
Yeah. Thanks. So, any other discussions or things we want to bring up for the tickets from current sprint?
There's the list of patient attributes to be added on the
Okay.
registration form.
Go ahead.
That should be ticket number.
290.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I have it now.
Oh, you did?
290. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's one other one that we probably need to discuss, and maybe.
Okay, go ahead, Lawrence.
Like there's been that testing that has been going on, and I think Simon was to give us another APK, which I think he's updated on the ticket. I guess I need to test that again and see if we run into any problems. I'm sorry, I think I should have tested that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let us know how the testing goes.
Yes. Sorry.
And I think this form also need to be tested by other program as well. So everyone please help Lawrence to test on this ticket. Since everyone, each program will use the same registration form. Is that okay? Thanks. So let me see here. So, Lawrence, do you have any other update for those CDM health center form as well as the dispensary form testing?
We did a bit of feedback on the dispensary and the health center, and I think Simon has been working on that. So there are a couple of questions that he still has on the lab section, which I need to give feedback on.
Okay.
I was waiting for him to get done with the clinic, and then I'll get back to him.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So, but we'll really try to push testing for next week, and we can get some comprehensive feedback by Wednesday, probably latest.
Yeah, please post updates on the ticket so that we know activities are ongoing.
Okay.
Thanks for doing that. Any other tickets you guys would like to bring up for discussions?
We have mUzima 313.
313.
That is remove timeout value during initial setting.
Go ahead with that.
Okay, we tested using the snapshot that was put there by Sweta, and we were not logged out of the application. Yeah. So I think it is working.
Yeah, I think so too. So since I saw Roba and Ruth, you both do the testing with trying to download a lot of data with big cohort. So I try to test it from a different perspective. Just leave the app intact during each step, just to make sure the timeout doesn't kick in. And it's working well. That it there's no timeout until the initial visit setup is complete.
Yeah.
So I think it's is ready for Shrita to provide to do like a pull request, so we can process with code review for this ticket.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for testing on this one. And also very helpful, very detailed steps how you did the testing.
Okay.
Ruth and Robot.
Thank you.
Any other tickets you guys want to bring it up for discussions?
Yes. We have ticket
Which one?
ONC 27, oncology 27.
I'm sorry, can you speak louder?
Errors to be resolved in production.
Stephen, which ticket?
Oncology 27.
Can you guys hear Stephen?
I said we have a ticket on oncology. Yeah, for errors to be resolved on production.
Oncology, what's the ticket number?
27. Oncology 27.
27?
27.
Errors to be resolved on production?
Now, on that, yes, on that case, we do have the second error for the one which has 53 errors. Now, most of the errors that are being identified there is the issue of duplication of MRS IDs. Which for this case, we have the one which is in production, which was initially assigned. And then we have one which is in the error queue, which was lately assigned. So maybe I could ask for your input on how can we handle the same, so that at least we can resolve these errors that are remaining.
For some reason, I could not really hear Stephen very clearly. I don't know if other people can hear.
Sorry?
Stephen, for some reason, you have like a lot of echo and feedback from your connection. I could not really hear exactly what you said. Is it because like you have two connections and then
Yeah.
that's why all this echo coming in?
I think so.
Were you guys able to hear Stephen clearly earlier?
No, it was not clear.
Yeah, I could not guess. Yeah, I could not hear. So Stephen, do you want to type your questions on the chat?
Yeah, type.
Right, am I audible enough?
Yeah, I can hear you, Lawrence. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think what Stephen is trying to say is during error resolution, you find you'll find a patient who's been registered, so they have a registration form on the error queue and probably a couple of other encounters. So you notice that you realize that this patient already exists on the server side.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll probably end up using the UUID from the server side to resolve the standing encounters, but you cannot resolve the registration form because it's already a duplicate. The patient is already active in the system. So I do not know how we get around that. Do we resolve them using the UUID?
Are you talking about that clients actually have existing record in AMRS and how to resolve those when they have they submit a registration form as a new client?
Yes.
And when isn't it that you can use the patient merge or updating the existing AMRS ID?
Yeah, I think there's a merging patient way. That merging patient page.
Oh, yes, there is.
Probably that can be helpful.
So, yeah, so Lawrence and Stephen, how about you give me use offline, don't send to the mailing list, offline just give me a couple example that you can identify um, those two records are supposed to belong to the same person, and then let me try to go through it so I can give you the steps. How about that?
Sounds good then.
Yeah, because right now I think it's just a little bit difficult to talk about it without having like clear instructions. Plus, we're not supposed to show the real client record for patient policy.
Okay.
So I would have to do for Lawrence and Stephen to provide a couple examples to Ada offline. So that Sue can go through and write up some instructions. Is that okay for you, Stephen? Stephen, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So thanks for bringing this up. So is there other ticket you guys want to bring up for discussions?
And maybe one more addition.
Sure.
297, like for the errors we are getting that are specific to devices.
297. The quality thing. Go ahead, Lawrence.
My thinking is this is still a blocker for us to test the latest releases of the APKs we are having to test while we're still experiencing this crashes that are specific to the Huawei. Do we have any way forward on that?
Yeah, I think Simon was looking into this, and then it put on hold because he was working on other tickets. So Simon, do you want to give a bit background on this one?
Yeah, I know the issue is to do the version as I reported earlier. I'm going to give it priority next week, Lawrence. So I think in the course of next week, we'll look into finding a solution.
Okay, we'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there any other ticket? If not, oh, go ahead.
We had a question on a ticket 305 which was already resolved.
What's the
Within
ticket number?
305.
305.
Yeah, cosmetic cleanup.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Okay, under settings, we've noticed that the wordings have not changed. So we are wondering if there's another APK that you're supposed to test.
So this one has been merged already. So if you go to, so if you use the latest APK, it's August 19th. So look at this one here, and then it should show all those wordings in the correct wordings. This one. Oh, I'm sorry, this one. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you use that one, you should be able to see the wordings that in the right way. It's already documented on the tickets here on the comments. Did you see that? So what happened is that earlier that I don't think the changes was included in the first version of the 19th, and then I talked to Win, and then Win generated a new one, and on the same day, and that's why I post another update here.
Because we are using the 19th APK, but we are not able to see the wordings. We still have the old version wording.
Can you download the latest 19? Because there was like a older version of 19. I think that's probably why it happens for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at the timeline here, at 2 p.m. when I tested it, I noticed that the changes didn't reflect. And then I talked to Win, and then Win generated an updated one and removed the old one.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you download a new one, you need to replace the old one so that you don't pick the wrong one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason that you see the what I saw, at 2 p.m. on 19th. In an hour or so, and then Win generate latest one with the latest change.
Okay.
I hope that explains why you saw you did not see the changes with the older version of the 19th APK.
Yes, because we have the old APK, we were not aware there's a new version of the 19th APK.
Yeah, I think that explains.
So we can use
And
the
that's why
one
I posted it here,
on the
Yeah, now
ticket.
if you don't click on this, click on this one, the latest one, the last comment.
Yeah.
This one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So like if things like that, please reference to the comment. But the comments can kind of give you like some history, what's going on. Okay. Cool. Any other questions on the ticket? Thanks for asking those. I think that's important to make sure that we have the right version.
Yes.
So next item I would like to move on to is about the issues. Lots of us reports about an error occur while saving form. It's right here, and so I want to have a big thanks to Simon. He spent a lot of time yesterday with me to help me to set up on my machine so that I can capture the log when I encounter issues, but there's no app crash, but then I can still get the log. So thanks, Simon, for that. So so I try to test it with just try to save the registration form as incomplete, and then also try to save it as complete form data. I keep running into issue that and have the message saying that an error occurred while saving form. I think quite a few of us experienced something similar when we try to save the form data, either complete or incomplete, with other form template as well. So I just want to bring it up here and share the log with you guys, and maybe Wayne and Simon, you can take a look and see why that happened.
I don't think this is the
Right.
the source data. Can you get further back?
Or further back? Yes, I can. So
That's the problem.
this one?
Yeah. I think Simon fixed this one, I think.
So it keep coming back on this one, not every time. So we just don't know why. If you guys can explain what that means and why it happens.
I think the parser inside the application for HTML registration form try to find any kind of observation in the form data, but cannot find any
Oh,
observation.
is it the one that because of the repetitive field that
Yeah,
we use
I
in
think
the
so.
concept inside like the patient object?
I think so.
Which APK did you use, Ada, if I may ask?
I think I used, let me see, 1 second. So let me look at my phone before I say that this is the last one.
Because I think Simon fixed this one already.
I think this is the snapshot from sweetest ticket. um, on on 270. This one. So I got the APK from this one. So from this one, sorry.
It could be that Sweta doesn't have the fix from Simon yet?
It's possible. That's why I could not move further to even look at how data stored in the database. That's why they're not very common on that way.
Yeah, I think that could be the case because I've been trying to save the forms and I've not encountered this as form saving error.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the actually the issue is while you're saving forms, there's no observation.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the form you're using was registration form.
Yes.
The latest one, right? Or
Yes.
you did not include the other other identifiers.
I did not include yes.
Yeah, I think that's the issue.
How about if that's the case, can I bring back another question? So let me bring back the 315 on the date of birth registration form. So I believe that for a second. So let's say that the comments from Robai. Robai, which APK did you use for testing on 315 when you say you an error leaving the form?
I used the APK that is in mUzima 315, the snapshot APK in 315.
Yeah, I think that's why I want to bring it up. Since I believe that the APK from the 315 should include the fixes on the concept zone.
Yeah, the APK I attached on 315 already had the fix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but surprisingly, when I tried to save myself,
Mm-hmm.
I could not encounter any error saving forms.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly what caused the problem from my.
How,
But I believe it could be a different error that she encountered during saving.
okay. So if that's the case, how about let's do this. Because I know sometimes also maybe the tester like referring us that might use different APK when we thought that it's used, this APK probably will use a different APK because there's so many different versions. So let's just do a first another testing on this one. Make sure that we use the snapshot APK that's been provided on this ticket and try to test on the registration form one more time. Regarding the day of birth field, and then to see that just if we can save as complete or incomplete form data without the error message.
Okay,
Let's
that
just
is
do that. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, cool. That's all the agenda items I have for today's call. Is there let me go back. Okay, there's one more thing I forgot because we move around agenda item. It's the implementation update. So please try to give like a brief update from the area that we're responsible for, and then things that you have accomplished, and then things that you plan to do, and the blockers that you encounter if there's any. Who want to go first? Go ahead, Lawrence.
No, as far as implementation is concerned, I think the one of the challenges from last week was mainly just not being able to figure out what to do with the duplicate registrations for patients existing. So I think that will be sorted out once we have a session as planned.
So the resolving the clients with duplicate registration is the blocker.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Lawrence. Robert?
Yes, I think that should be about it.
Robert, do you want to share your update?
okay. Mine. I have a question. During testing, I was asking maybe if you have chosen a wrong cohort to download, is it possible to go back and choose the right cohort without interrupting the wizard?
You can tap the back button,
Sorry?
or you without interrupting the wizard.
Yeah, that is my question. During initial wizard download, when you have selected the wrong cohort and you start downloading, is it possible to cancel the wrong download and try and download the right cohort?
I don't think we have the interrupted button here to stop the process when you download it.
Because I tried stopping, but I was not able. But if you go to step 2, you're able to stop. But step 1, it's not possible.
So what you mean, like doing the downloading process?
Yes, the initial download process.
So even like for step 2 or even like step 5, when you download the kind of observation, when the process is already downloading, I don't think you can interact unless like you exit the app or like for stop.
Because like step 5, there's a button previous and next. But when downloading cohorts, there's no button, so you can't go previous.
Yeah, because that's the first screen. Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't think we have that right now.
So maybe, is it possible? Maybe it was a suggestion.
I think you can file a ticket on that, but I don't think that would be in high priority for us right now. I just want to be honest because we have so many bug fixes right now that we want to accomplish. So, but feel free to file a ticket if you think that that's what is needed, and then give suggestions how you foresee that happen.
Then another suggestion, maybe I was asking if we can create a ticket whereby we are able to monitor saving of forms, because it is a common error whereby you get either when you want to upload a form, you get an error, an exception has been thrown while uploading data, or when you want to save as draft or complete, you get a message, an error has occurred while saving the form. So maybe we can create a ticket whereby all of us, we can monitor.
Yes, just file a ticket with the error that you encounter with an example, and it would be very helpful to also include the log, so that the developers have more information to reference to.
Okay, okay. So that's all I have from my side.
Thanks, Robai.
Okay.
And from my side, Florida, yeah, in testing on VMS, and so far things are good. At least most of the blockers we are able to solve, and most of the tickets have been closed by Mr. Lagat. So we are still testing, and we will continue giving our comments on the tickets that are still remaining.
Okay. So I did see a comment that Lawrence asked, "How is it true that the ticket is done? Does it mean it's ready for implementations?" Did you see Lawrence's questions on that ticket?
Yeah, I saw, but I don't think if it is ready for implementation right now, because we still have one problem on dates, whereby when you register uh, a device, or when you register a person, still you get the purchase date. It doesn't give you the current date that you are registering that device.
Florida, can you do me a favor? Start a new wiki page for the device management security app, and list out all the blockers tickets or remaining tickets that in order for this app to be functioning. I think with that, it will be very clear for other members or other project people that, if they're interested, they can just reference to that project page, the wiki page, so that they know what to expect and to know what's working and what's not working.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful. So like for example, like for those tickets you already finished or complete, you can still list out there, but you can just say they already completed features. and then these are the remaining issues.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also it will be very helpful to have a function saying that now you can register the users, you can register the device, but when register the device, it only works when with the data, but not with Wi-Fi. Things like that. It would be very helpful to list out all these things, that this different scenario, what works and what not works.
I'll do so.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Ada, none from my side.
Okay.
Um,
So Stephen, do you want to give us a update from your side, Stephen?
Yeah, the update from my side is, maybe I could ask if we can maybe redefine the meaning of code as far as oncology is concerned, cervical cancer is concerned.
To define cohort?
Because to redefine code, because most of the codes that once we have filled they have filled a VA form for a woman, the registered patient is not be redirected back to the oncologist CSP code. So it just hangs as far as patients are concerned, but not really.
I think the definition should come from the program. So if for example, for oncology program, you guys can provide the definition of your cohort, and then we can work with you to come up with the definition and then create the cohort.
Okay.
Yeah. So work with your program, especially clinicians, and then come up with the definitions, and then and then
I think was initially defined as, first, she must be a woman, and the second, for her to be in a oncology cervical cancer CCSP cohort, she must be a woman, and number two, she must have been filled by a VIA form.
Yeah, can you file a ticket and include all those definitions?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. And then we can start from there.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's all from the agenda item. Is there anything else anyone want to bring up?
okay, Ada, I remember there was an error on the UI for the linkage form. Error 1107.
Say it one more time.
I'm saying when I was filling a form for linkage gear tools, when I save the form, it doesn't make to the processing. There's an error that is saying error 1107. So I was wondering what I should do about it.
Which ticket is that?
There's no ticket for it. It's just another I encountered on the UI.
So please file a ticket on that. So it's just easier for us even to discuss, because it's really difficult to to even reference to something when we don't understand the background.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to encourage everyone to file tickets if you have any issues, and try to put in as much information as possible. And then so that we can triage them, and if need to, we can bring up to discuss through the call, because we're not sure which version you use and what actually happened, and it's really difficult to provide useful information at this point. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just need to be more think about to be more effective when we report the issues. It's good that you guys spend a lot of effort in using the app and also testing, things like that. Please don't feel shy to file tickets if there's any issues. The worst thing is, we spend time to go through those, and maybe it was just like some misunderstanding or use the wrong version, and then we can just simply close it. If this is a true issue, and then we can clarify that and provide relevant information, and then we can assign developers to help with that. I hope that, yeah, let's stick with that model so that we can be more precise.
Okay, thank you, Ada.
Yeah, don't get discouraged when I say this, because I hope that we all try to come up with like a more effective way of reporting issues.
Yes.
And also try not to mix different issues in the same ticket.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I would just ask on that one. Well, I think every ticket has like a title. So should we stick to a way where we say when you're responding, you are strictly giving feedback based on that ticket, the issue the ticket is trying to address?
So let's say that when you're testing for a ticket,
yes,
and you try to test what the ticket is asking about.
Okay.
If that thing, if it meets the acceptance criteria, you can just simply report that it meets the acceptance criteria, or you can even go further how you tested it, and so the other can also learn from you. However, when doing this testing, maybe you encounter some other issues that are not relevant to this ticket, right? And you can still share over there, but go ahead and create different tickets. Just simply point to saying that you run into issue 1, 2, 3, and please see tickets ABC.
Okay.
And then that way would be more clean, and then not to create confusions for other people.
Okay.
And then if not, we will never be able to finish one ticket, because it's going to be compounded and then never really ended.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope that it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
If not, it would, the reason that I think we as the reporter or implementers or testers, I think we also need to, because we really want to have more developers' time and effort to help with our issues. If we don't report in a clear manner and we keep mixing things together, it would just cause more confusion for the developers, and that means we don't get our tickets resolved sooner.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So please don't take it as something. This is not discouraging everyone. It's more like try to find like a more effective way to communicate.
Yes.
Maybe the last question from my side.
Can you speak closer to the mic?
Okay, during my testing, I filed ticket mUzima 328, whereby when I was deleting forms from the incomplete form data, the forms were saved back automatically. So I'm requesting other team members if they can reproduce the same error, and survey can help look into the issue, maybe what is the problem.
Which ticket again? Sorry.
mUzima 328.
328?
328, yes.
Okay, I see. So it's a request by Robai that other members please try to see if you can reproduce the same issue for 328.
Yes.
Okie dokie, guys. That's great discussions, and I hope that it clarified a lot of odd behavior that we observed during this past week. And we appreciate everyone's efforts, and thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.